What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for live team news reaction ahead of today's derby against Rangers. There are no changes from the team that faced Dundee United a couple of weeks ago. That means the team in full is Scott Bain in goals. It's a back four of John Joe Kenny, Welsh, Ayer and Laxalt. In midfield, it's Brown and McGregor. In front of them, Christie, Turnbull and El Yunusi, and up top, Odsonne, Edouard. I did predict 11 out of 11 on the starting 11 predictions, so there's a first time for everything. I've got Callum and Daniel with me to talk over the team. You can ask your questions and get your comments in the live chat box below. We'll try and pick out some good ones as we go through. Callum, what's your initial reaction to that lineup?
Initial reaction is that it's not really surprised me. There's not anybody in there that's jumping out at me going, I didn't expect him to play. There's some players in there, Paul, that really have to pull their weight in this game. The likes of maybe El Yunusi I can think of, who's going to go back to Southampton. He really needs to step up. This should be a game that he should thrive under, but he's really hidden some of the games that he's come up against them. I remember at Celtic Park, the first one back in October, he had that early chance of chipping McGregor when he was one-on-one, and he scuffed it. So chances like that he needs to take today. He's also up against Balogun at right back for Rangers. So that's got to be, he's got to favour that, because obviously he usually coming up against Tavernier that pushes further up the park. So we've really got to exploit that area of the park against them, especially with the home team. Try and dominate the ball. Don't let them settle. Don't give them any time to get out for the back and press. And we need to be careful at set pieces. It's been our downfall all season against so many teams I can think of. It's just whether it's first ball or second ball. So we really need to switch on and stuff like that. But there's no really shocks in the team. I was maybe hoping Forrest might have started get 60 minutes, but it's not to be. So hopefully we can already be 1 or 2-0 up and he can come on and get the last half hour of the game.
It is 4-2-3-1 as I expected. A lot of people saying, why are we not playing two up front? Daniel, I just said to you quickly before we came on here, play two up front, all well and fine, but what other striker has any game time recently to justify starting in this game? Griffiths and Ajeti have barely kicked a ball recently.
Aye, it was always, I think, going to be Edouard. We did discuss it beforehand, and Griffiths hasn't had any game time whatsoever, so he doesn't justify it to start from me. Klimala and Ajeti haven't hit the heights yet, so you're left with that predicament. Who do you go with then? Edouard's the only person you can go with, so it had to be him. I don't think El Yunusi kind of working mind doesn't really work, but as Callum says, everybody's got to perform today. Everybody's got to, when they're putting on that jersey, perform to the best of their ability and win this game, because they haven't showed up at all season. But no, the team is again what we kind of predicted. It would have been good to see Forrest playing as well, but he's barely featured. I think John Kennedy mentioned as well he got a training game and he played, he got some minutes, but it was probably going to be about kind of rushing back and put him into this game. So hopefully he might feature at some point today. But overall, it's what we did expect. So yeah, just
too early for James Forrest, isn't it, Callum? I mean, he's only 10 minutes at Tannadice, and that was about it. I mean, when he's been out for that long, you kind of just throw him into this game.
Yeah. The game kind of passed him by as well. I heard that the bounce game that we did play, is it right, that was Kilmarnock? I think we won 5-0. So, I mean, I don't think we've won 5-0 all season. An actual game that means something, which is a bit disappointing. So I'll take one today if they want to give one. But it's obviously, I heard he played quite well in that game, but it's far too early for the game of this magnitude. Even though there's not a lot of riding on it, there's never a game like this where it's just a quiet game and everybody else wants to do something. Everybody's going to tune in and watch this game. So it still means everything to the supporters, and even worldwide people will tune in to watch it, because it's always a good game. I expect it to be a very tight game between both clubs, but I hope Forrest comes on maybe the last half an hour. As I said, if we're winning, that would be good. But I'd actually like to see him on the right, on the left side with El Yunusi, because obviously if they're playing Balogun, who isn't a natural right back, then obviously with the 60 odd 70 minutes that El Yunusi's come up against them, I'm hoping Forrest can get some joy down that side of the park. I think that's where the game can be won, down that side of the park today.
Hopefully that is an area of weakness for them. With Balogun playing out of position, that's something we've had to do, or sometimes through choice this season, play players out of position. So hopefully we can get at that today. Daniel, Charles Sweeney's commenting saying we played two up top the last time we played them. We did, and we pressed them pretty high up the pitch at Ibrox, particularly in the first half, that first 15, 20 minutes. We pinned them back and we were really the dominant team. Do you think we're going to try and get at them early on today and put them under pressure and try and get in the front foot and play the game in our terms?
Yeah, we've got to. We're the home team, so we've got to try and use that again. And we just need to win this game. It's been so many times, as I said recently this season, that Rangers have came and they've dictated the play. Obviously, the last match we performed fantastically well for 60 minutes, but we've just got to do that again. But it's got to be for the full 90 minutes. I want to see determination. I want to see drive, hunger, and I want to see an identity to the way we play today. I don't want to see something I'm trying to figure out the team after half an hour, thinking what is this? What are we trying to play? What's the formation here? So. We've got to start off with the front foot, and we've got to attack them. So take it to them. As Callum says, they've got people that are playing out of position. So let's try and exploit that, and see if we can get some joy down that side.
On the bench for Celtic today, it's Barkas, Taylor, Duffy, Beaton, Griffiths, Klimala, Sorrow, Vogic, and James Forrest, as we've discussed. Kyle Morton is asking, what do you think of Scott Brown starting? Well, I predicted that he would start. I kind of had a feeling that Sorrow wouldn't get the nod ahead of him. And Callum, obviously, you can see that he's winding down. Scott Brown, we all know that. But he's been a stalwart in this fixture for us. And him, possibly Edward, one or two of the other guys who might leave in the summer as well. This could be their last derby at Celtic Park. So you would think, while there's no shortage of motivation today, that these guys want to go and put in a performance in their last Celtic Park derby.
Aye, especially with us also having it over a week off as well, and obviously them playing on Thursday. There's no excuses today. There can't be, he's looked tired. All the rubbish we've heard all season, for whether it's Lennon or Strachan or Kennedy. There's no excuses today. They've had plenty of time to look at this match, to prepare for it. Much more time than what obviously Rangers have had. Obviously with the European on Thursday. So Scott Brown, he's always a stalwart for us in this type of game. He always tries to lead by example. So I've got no worries with him actually starting, because Sorrow, you covered it, Paul, in your last video. I think he's kind of went off the boil a little bit, and his passing head went off a wee bit as well. So I don't know if that's him maybe getting too settled in the team and expecting to start every week. That's what you get in young players, inconsistency. You just, that's what happens. So Scott Brown's somebody that's been here, been around the block, and it'll be interesting to see actually, because I'm sure they're starting with Davis, Kamara, Aribo, and they're actually starting Hadji on the right, but he'll drop in a lot, so they'll try and fill the midfield against our midfield. And I think that's where we won the game last time. We didn't also win the game, but we won the battle in the midfield with having that diamond, and Rangers really struggled with that to get to terms. Obviously, we're not going with that this game, so it'll be interesting to see how the midfield battle goes. But people like McGregor's and Browns, they're certainties to start this type of game, because they know what it's all about, and they've been around the block plenty of times in this game, so I've got no worries about them starting.
Daniel, obviously the first game at Celtic Park back in October, we didn't muster a shot at target. We've not scored against Rangers this season, let alone taking any points off them. And we don't need to talk about how important it is for us to end their unbeaten run, but we've got to take our chances when they come along today. You can say we've done all right for the first half at Ibrox. I think when you stretch it to 60 minutes to the sending off, I think we'd kind of come off it a bit in the second half anyway, but we've got to take our chances when they come along today.
Absolutely. Callum said as well, the boys have had over a week now preparation, so there is absolutely no excuses today. They've got to go out, and again, when the chances come to them, they've got to take them. So it's no thing about us having all this possession and no making anything of it. We've got to take the chances when they come to us. And I want to see a lot of chances today. I want to see, as I said, fight, determination, a lot of hunger for these boys, because they owe us a lot and they owe us a win today. So it's imperative that we do win the game, of course. But you just want to see a really, really good performance, lots of chances and things as well created, and just a good game of football. That's what we want. But again, there needs to be shots. We need to try and test the goalkeeper. So let's see what we can do.
Callum, as Daniel says there, I think the players owe us a performance. I think they owe it to themselves as well, though. They've been so poor this season, particularly in big games. We haven't performed in a big game all season, and it's so important for us in terms of psychologically and a lot of talk about laying down markers for next season and stuff. But it's so important that we do come out with hopefully a victory here today.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, to be fair, Paul, forget us and forget the fans and everybody else watching this. It's your own pride at stake as a player. Like, maybe if Duffy was starting, somebody like him, it would be pride that, do you know what, I'm not coming back here next season. Let's go out. Let's show what I can at least do in this one game. People like El Yunusek, it's moments like that. And this is a stat that I didn't really want to say because how come we've no scored in a while. It's actually been 447 days last till we scored in this derby. Simply not good enough. And I know COVID's had an effect on that because we've stopped for so long and games get cancelled, but that's still not a great stat. It's over a full year that we've not scored in this game. It's just not acceptable, and you covered it at Parkhead. We never even got a shot on target, and ironically at Ibrox they never got a shot on target. So it can show you these games can go either way, and it shows you if you don't have a shot on target you can still win the game. But I'm not really looking for just a win today. I'm looking for a good performance because they owe everybody it, but they owe themselves it. There's been a sacking at our club this year, so they owe themselves it rather than just us that are fans. That they owe themselves to do proud. So I'm hoping that they've got that mentality today just to go and even though the league's done, just go and win it because we've seen it. I think in 2019 we won the league and we went to Ibrox and they beat us 2-0 and they were celebrating as if they had won the Euros. It was madness, and it was like you're celebrating. So I hope Celtic can have kind of a fight as well, and kind of show, you know what, it might be over, but we're still here. And because remember, there's still a Scottish Cup team we played for that we're both in, so we really need to lay down a marker for that as well. Because if we come up against them in the Scottish Cup and we've been beating all these games, then what does that mentally do to the players? So it'd be good for a win, you know.
Aye, absolutely. Even allowing for the lockdown and the first COVID outbreak. More than a year since we last beat them back in December 2019, obviously. It's far too long, and I think they owe themselves as much as us our performance today. And hopefully we get that. That's it for the Team News reaction. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Enjoy the game wherever you're watching, and catch us straight after the game for full-time reaction as normal. Cheers.